Hello and welcome back to the 5 Minute Film Club. It's my second video in this weekend of fantasy films, and today I want to talk to you about a real favourite of mine, and that is 1986's Labyrinth. Just so you know, I am wearing a Labyrinth t-shirt. Just so you know, I am a card-carrying fan of the film. Labyrinth, directed by Muppet creator Jim Henson, is about a teenager called Sarah, played by Jennifer Connelly, who is left home alone to look after her baby brother Toby. Frustrated that he won't stop crying, she recites a wish to the Goblin King, asking that he come and take the baby away.
I wish the goblins would come and take you away. Right now.
Well, luckily for her, her wish is granted and Toby is magicked away. Enter the Goblin King himself, played by David Bowie. He's dressed up as a kind of glam rock vampire, and he comes in basically to say that Sarah's brother is now in his castle at the centre of a labyrinth, and Sarah has 13 hours to come and rescue him. Otherwise, he'll just turn him into a goblin. Lovely! I remember sitting and watching it on television just before either a babysitter was coming for me or we were all going out as a family. I can't remember, but I vividly remember the ending where they're all dancing about on the bed and the puppets are going mad. I remember that, and just being amazed by the strangeness of the world and just how it kind of started and ended, and it just, really stuck in my mind. Labyrinth was the second collaboration between Jim Henson and illustrator Brian Froud, who'd worked together on the 1982 film The Dark Crystal, which I'd seen and been utterly terrified before I stumbled upon this film. Brian explains on the commentary track for this film that he was completely burnt out after the 5 years that he'd spent working on that film and wasn't planning on jumping right into another film, but Henson persuaded him, and they set about melding puppets and human performers in a much more light-hearted production. The film is essentially a coming-of-age story, with young Sarah in that difficult flux between childhood fantasies and adult life and responsibilities. This makes Bowie's Goblin King an interesting character, as he is the main antagonist of the film, but also the romantic lead, in the vein of Rochester or Heathcliff. The scene where Sarah eats a drugged peach and enters a dream masked ball created by Jareth, where they dance together, is fraught with conflicting feelings. It's a strange scene to watch now at this age, but I think Bowie plays Jareth with exceptional ambiguity, and I think that's the perfect way to do it. What I like about The Labyrinth is that at no point does it shy away from it being a big, indulgent fantasy film. They make no illusions that it is all filmed on a set, and why would you? Because everything about this film is so beautifully designed and executed. Brian Froud's wonderfully gnarled creations are given character by Terry Jones's script, and brought to life by Jim Henson and his puppeteers, as well as following the style of Wizard of Oz and Alice in Wonderland, where we have the main plot being broken up with great encounters with characters that sometimes further the plot and sometimes don't. The worm, for example, at the start of this film was a big fan favourite, but it really does very little to actually further the plot along.
If she'd have kept on going down that way, she'd have gone straight to that castle.
And a personal favourite from mine is the wise man with the bird as his hat. It's an incredibly elaborate puppet, voiced wonderfully by Sir Michael Hordern, and it really serves no other purpose than to enhance the illusion of the illogical dream world the film is trying to create.
It's so stimulating being your head.
I absolutely love it. Dreams are completely illogical. Nobody has dreams that make sense. Things in dreams just randomly spring out of nowhere, and that's exactly that experience that you get from watching Labyrinth. The film ended up costing quite a lot, and unfortunately, it didn't really make that back. For many years, it ended up just being a cult curiosity. I, for one, growing up, didn't really know anybody that had watched The Labyrinth, and when you found somebody, you really just had to go, right, okay, let's watch it now. And so suddenly, when I went to university, all of this merchandise, some of it that I'm wearing now, started to spring up. I almost felt slightly put out by all of that, completely selfishly, of course, but that's just me. Regardless of that, I love the film, I always will, and I like the fact that lots of other people do as well, I suppose.
Nothing, tra-la-la.
Thank you very much for watching my review of Labyrinth. Tomorrow I'm bringing you the musical from 1943, Cabin in the Sky, so please remember to subscribe to this video if you want to watch that. But until then, I'll say thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.